Marchese and Buller, Buller Marchese. These two guys.
Yeah, I think your name comes first.
No, you could come first. I don't care. Actually, I'm gonna change it.
Keep it the way it is. Yeah, whatever's easiest, you know, man. Whatever suits you. So, what are we talking about today, William?
Let me just put on some calm music. Okay, Twitter.
Well, what about it?
It's just when I first started the actual social media aspect of it.
Yeah.
I saw people saying, "Oh, I'm gonna take a break. Social media's too much. I'm addicted to this. I can't. I have to put it down. I'm not getting any writing done." And I guess I understand now.
Yeah.
I actually see what they were talking about. I mean, it's like...
Yeah. I suppose it's down to the individual, isn't it? I suppose the solution to that is what you've kind of been doing the past couple of days and just keeping away from it a little bit.
Yeah.
If it's getting on your nerves, don't be around it. I think that's the key. If you get offended by something, just don't be around it. Simple.
I mean, that it sums it up.
Yeah.
It's just like turn it off or go look at something else. So I got my buddy at work. He says we're falling asleep. He's falling asleep. So let's push this up. A little urban music. And what we're going to talk about now is a trend going on YouTube called "How to Make the Perfect Pie."
Oh wow! How does that work?
Yeah. So let me just put that in the "How to Make the Perfect Pie." So I was at Whole Foods.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought a pumpkin pie.
Yes.
Because I really like their pumpkin pies.
Yeah.
But I usually make them myself.
Yeah, me too. Well, I've got no other option. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's this organic place, and it was just terrible. It was just so, like juicy.
Oh yeah. Was it a creamy pie?
No, it was a juicy pie, and I'm like, it should have been creamy because a pumpkin pie is like a custard almost.
Oh yeah.
So I froze it. It's sitting in my freezer right now. I'm gonna throw it away though.
I've got 2 tins of like pumpkin meat. Is the word? I don't know. Tins of sort of pureed pumpkin left.
Oh.
So I also needs a couple of pastry casings, and if I make some more, I'll probably do that at some point this week. Because a couple of the guys at work have never had pumpkin pie. And a couple of the guys at Lisa's work have not had pumpkin pie either. It's like it's a very American thing. We can't go into a supermarket or you can't go into a supermarket over and buy pumpkin pie. We just don't sell them.
But wait a second. I thought like apple pie was American.
Well, yeah, it is. We have apple pie. You can get an apple pie any day of the year, But for some reason, pumpkin pie you can't.
Really?
Yeah, you can't go to shops and buy it.
My friend at work says he likes pie a la mode. I looked it up. That's like with ice cream. I do like a little ice cream on the side, Little maybe a mint ice cream or.
Are you a cream or an ice cream type of guy? So over here, if you get something like that, some hot pie on your plate, you get the option of either like single cream, whipped cream, or ice cream. Usually, you get to pick one. Yeah. So what would you go for?
I would say it all depends on what you want. If you want a little more rich, maybe ice cream. But if you want like a light kind of topping, whipped cream.
Yes. Oh, I love whipped cream. And Lisa made some. We've got some double cream, in the carton.
Yeah.
We made the pumpkin pie, and she was like stood in the kitchen for about 10 minutes, sort of whipping this cream. Because it takes ages to make whipped cream, doesn't it? When you're whipping away.
Well, when you're doing it by hand, yeah.
Yeah, nothing seems to happen at first. You're sort of going and going and going.
Yeah.
It sort of thickens up,
Yeah. So what is it? You got to get heavy cream?
Yeah.
And then just keep whipping it.
Yeah, just keep whipping away at that thing. Yeah.
I gotta try that.
So your friend at work, what does he do?
Well, he's with me in the conference center, so we were all servicing the corporate elite. And we always talk about things, writing.
Yeah.
He's a director. He wrote, directed, starred in, has a whole bunch of people. Actually, in his movie, Chris is in it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Chris is. He's the gangster. One of the gangsters. He has. He comes out and I believe Jan shoots him. My friend, I think he shoots him in the movie, if I remember correctly. Someone shoots him. I know he gets killed. But yeah, he always calls me El Gordo.
El Gordo. What does that mean again?
Fat.
I'm going to crack open a Woodsetton Pale Ale made in the Black Country, which is Birmingham.
Is that the Desperado you were showing me?
No, I started off with a Desperado, and I've moved on to this Pale Ale. 0.5% alcohol by volume, made by Holden's Brewery, who've been around since 1915. We'll try this cheeky little number.
Yeah.
And see where it takes me, you know?
Music, let's get some dance, some dubstep here.
This is a really nice beer.
Yeah?
You Americans are missing out.
I'm sure they have it. Wait, what's the name of it?
It's called Woodsetton Pale Ale. It's made in Birmingham.
Oh.
Where Ozzy Osbourne land.
Well, I know that. I mean, Whole Foods has a crap load of beers.
Oh, they probably don't have this. This is like it's like a microbrewery type thing, you know. It's I would be really surprised if you get all this in America. But there's a brewery over there. I think is it called Iron Hammer or something, or Iron something. And David from Deadlights got me onto it, and he was saying how nice it was. They do like a chocolate porter. And he said it's just like drinking like a fudge chocolate cake. You're drinking it, it's really nice.
Wow.
Man, I scoured the internet. I looked everywhere trying to find a place, a distributor over in the UK. I even emailed them, asking if there's a way they could get their beers over here. And you can't, apparently. It's just, they're just so small, it's just only available over in, I don't know, where does David live? Is it Washington?
Is it Washington? No, it can't be Washington. Washington on the other side, though, right?
Yeah. Not DC.
That's where Nintendo's from, I think.
Oh, is it really?
Nintendo of America, at least. My friend says it could be very entertaining to see us live.
Yeah. The thing is, it wouldn't be very entertaining to watch because I'm basically stood in my kitchen.
Yeah.
When we started in the summer, I'd stand out in the garden.
Yeah. Now it's too cold.
Now it's too cold and dark. I stand in the kitchen.
Oh.
So I've got this little tiny kitchen, and if we did it live, you'd just see my horrible big face in my kitchen, just doing the dishes and just going about my business, drinking beer. And I've just sent you a picture of my ale, just to show you what it's like.
Let's see. Woodsetton.
Yeah. So I've had a really good week this week. I as you know, I got an acceptance.
Oh yeah.
It's only the second of the year for me because I've still been writing. I've still been sort of throwing stories out there. I've had at least 10 stories sort of floating around at one point or another. But my story, A Light in the Darkness, has been accepted by Gallery of Curiosities. Who they published me before, and when they published me before, they were token payment. This is like, I think, almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And now they've moved up to 3 cents a word, which is my first semi-pro sale. So I'm really sort of pleased with it. It's a bit of a milestone because I've always said if I ever hit a semi-pro or pro market and I get taken on, then it'll be about the time I sort of start thinking of writing a novella or a novel.
Yeah. So
early next year, I think I'm probably going to maybe start writing a novella. But
nice.
It's really good, man. They're so professional. They put out a really good show. It's a podcast.
I remember listening to what was it, Pet Shop?
Yeah.
And I remember it was saying it's out there with the grey rooms and all those, where they have the sound effects and everything in the background. Yeah,
they do. Unlike the grey rooms, it's not sort of acted out. It's not done as a play.
Yeah.
But it's certainly, there are sound effects and there's music and stuff, and they use professional voice actors and stuff to do it. And some publishers, you get accepted by them and they're like, they mess you around. And funny enough, I was saying to the guy who runs Gallery of Curiosities, Kevin Frost, I was saying, how professional he's been, in terms of efficiency from the moment of acceptance through to sort of getting everything sorted, the payment and the, you know, the edits and yada yada yada. Compared to other sort of places I've been, I mean, one place I waited 18 months to get paid, and that was after it was actually published.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just been a real pleasure. Yesterday, first thing in the morning, I got the acceptance, and then by close of play yesterday evening, I'd been paid, and I'd sent a set of. He sent me some edits, and I'd carried them out and sent them back, and it was all ready to go.
Nice.
So, yeah, sort of really, really professional, and I'm just really pleased because, you know, you writers, you know, you got to take rejection. We all know this. But it started to get me down a little bit. I was started thinking of sending things to slightly lower rated markets, and you know, this is sort of, it's given me a bit of a boost, and already I'm sort of back on to sort of writing new stories and stuff straight away. Yeah. Because I'm motivated by it. So yeah, it's been good, man. And you know, I was kind of, it was one of them. For anyone who listens who's a writer, there's a website called Submission Grinder. And you sort of look on Submission Grinder and it gives you an idea of, you know, markets that are open, but it also tells you like how many people have submitted to places based on, you know, what, as a writer, you register with Submission Grinder, and when you use it like as a tracker. So if I was on Submission Grinder and I was submitted to Gallery of Curiosities, I'd put in there, I've just submitted to Gallery of Curiosities, and it's very much writer-led. The publishers post up the markets, and then the writers populate it with numbers. So I was looking at that, and I've noticed that a lot of people who had submitted after me had been rejected.
Wow. So
I was thinking to myself on Friday, I thought it's looking really good because, you know, Kevin's obviously gone through everyone sort of who submitted before me, about 20 people who submitted after me, and my story's still in the running, you know? Yeah. I mean, that's bit me in the ass before, you know, but it just says I'm going to get rejected anyway. But and I had a sort of a good idea that it was looking good, and then, Saturday morning I found out I had the acceptance. I was just really, really pleased. Yeah. Absolutely delighted, you know? I
mean, that's the thing. A lot of these places, it's not even that. It's like every single one of the stories could be perfect, but then it's like they just don't fit in with that particular anthology. And if you keep sending it to the person, the next anthology it might fit in, or it might fit in somewhere else. I was reading this article, I forgot the name of the guy. He said he'll have stories that have gone into the best of, but they were rejected from the anthologies from the same place.
Yeah.
It's just what fits, you know. It's what they need at the time.
I think Gallery of Curiosities is quite an unusual one, and I think a lot of people get rejected based wholly on the, like you say, not necessarily the quality of the story. Yeah. But although, you know, obviously if you're paying 3 cents a word, the story's got to be pretty much bang on. But because of the type of story, they're very much sort of oldie, timeless, sort of, they're like a bit of steampunk, a bit of diesel punk, a little bit of, if it's horror, it has to be like before the 1900s, or, you know, before the 1920s, you know, it's got to be like really old, you know, people with lanterns, and, you know, and they wear deer stalkers and like that, you know, it's got to be like quite old. Yeah. To get in. And I think a lot of people just get rejected. I mean, I got rejected once from them earlier in the year because the story I submitted, he liked it, but there's mention of cell phones and there's mention of a Land Rover in it. Yeah. So that sort of put them off a little bit, but it's good, man. It's really nice. And I know it isn't just Kevin sort of paying me a little bit of lip service and just accepting it for the sake of accepting it, because I think I said to you before, I think he's rejected about 4 or 5 of my stories. Yeah, you would tell me. So it's not like, you know, oh, it's Gary. I'll Pet Shop did very well. I'll just sort of let him on the, you know, like old boys club sort of thing. It's not like that at all, and it's from merit. So I'm just really pleased, you know.
Well, speaking of podcasts, have you had a chance to listen to the Grey Rooms, the Halloween one?
I've listened to it, a little bit of it. I've not listened to all of it yet.
Yeah.
Have you listened to it?
I have. It's one of those podcasts where sometimes you actually enjoy the interlude. Yeah. Just as much, if not more, than the story. You want to just hear what's going on with the Grey Rooms guy and how he's torturing the guy that he has, you know, in the Grey Room.
Yeah.
And supposedly there was these trick-or-treaters that called in, that they were like ringing the bell. And he's like, what the hell is this? I'm in this place where I'm doing this Grey Rooms thing, and here's trick-or-treaters ringing this bell. It was good. I liked it. I like the sound effects a lot. The sound effects really make it.
Yeah.
It's like the old days, man. I was never around for those radio shows, but I saw it on A Christmas Story, and I like those type of things because you can use your imagination. Like, you get the sound effects, but you can actually put so much more to it. It's like reading, except it gives you a little bit more to work with. Unlike movies where you're limited to the CGI and the effects of the movie. I liked it. I liked it a lot, and I'll be looking forward to the next one.
Yeah. It's like I said before, I like the way they acted out. Like, they make it like an audio play. And it must be hard because they don't receive an audio play; they receive a story.
Yeah.
So they've got to then act it out, and I'll be really interested to see what they do with mine. Brian actually sent me a piece of artwork from my podcast, that's going to come up.
Yeah.
I think it's January.
Well, let me guess. Was it like a peephole from the door?
No. It was the gardener, the one who digs out a shotgun.
Oh yeah.
It was that. I put like a cartoon. That is really good,
Yeah.
They're obviously putting a lot of time and effort into it, and I'm genuinely sort of stoked to sort of listen to it and see what they do. I mean, it's sort of exploded, man. I didn't expect it to be as, not being sort of condescending to Brian and Jason, but I didn't expect it to be this good when I first submitted my story, But they've run with it, man. They've done really, really well.
Yeah. I don't think that's being condescending. If anything, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
That it exceeded your expectations.
Yeah, it did. It's it's good, very good. From that first preview, I was like, yeah, this is something different.
Yeah. So I started watching Haunted on Hill House, but I only got to like maybe 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, the girl had a nightmare, and then it cuts to the next scene, but you see like the face behind her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm judging on like 10 minutes, so I'm gonna keep watching.
Yeah.
But I know you don't watch The Walking Dead.
I do. I'm pretty much up to date. You're saying about what happens to Rick and stuff, and you actually said it like the like a day before we watched it, or something, or we watched it.
And exactly what I said happened.
Yeah, it did.
It's this guy, I think, at 999 Gaming. He gets his information from, not The Talking Dead. It's like this Leaking Dead, or I forgot. But they're people that are on the actual location, and they see the actors go on the set, so they know who's going to be there, right?
Yeah.
They knew that Shane was going to come back, and all these people, because Rick is going to be hallucinating on this next episode. See, I'm not.
Right.
I don't feel I'm really giving out spoilers because they might not happen, right? But more than likely they will, because the spoilers that I got for the episode with Glenn happened to the T. Because supposedly somebody got the script somehow.
Right. Yeah.
But this one, I mean, if you watched for the next, let's say, 10 seconds, don't listen right now. For the next 10 seconds, don't listen. This is a spoiler. Okay, you've been warned.
Here it is.
So Rick gets thrown off the horse, just like I said, and he gets impaled by the rebar. Basically, what's going to happen on the next one, now this isn't spoilers, this is theory, that he's going to get off the rebar with a belt. Because a lot of people actually, if you buy the premium version of AMC, you get to see like the first 15 minutes or first 20 minutes of the show. Yeah. So he gets off with the belt, and he's like bleeding out, right? Now, they don't know if he's going to bring the zombies to the bridge and let the bridge break and just wash them down the river, or if he's gonna cause want to save the bridge, but he's got to get back to them. And then somehow Jadis with the helicopters, there's a scene in the beginning where the Rick from the hospital, he's looking at the new Rick, and he says, "Wake up." And that's when he wakes up and he gets off the rebar, but now he's hallucinating. And then he looks out the window in the hospital, and he sees a whole bunch of like birds, the birds from the opening scene, and they start flying toward the hospital, and they turn into helicopters. So that was another thing. Those helicopters are going to take him. So they said he's not going to be on the show, but he's not going to necessarily die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, bearing in mind, I think, was it last season or the season before, there was actually pictures on the internet of Daryl getting killed by zombies. It was sort of in the back of a truck or something. I think I've sort of these vague memories of seeing it sort of circulating around Twitter, and it never happened. So
Yeah, I've seen pictures of Zombie Rick on
yeah,
Twitter. Yeah, they just, it's you could do a lot with.
for sure.
Yeah, but I don't think they would kill off Daryl just yet. The whole thing is, what's going to happen with Maggie, right? But Rick is still alive in the comics, so I guess it. But the thing is, this is season 9, right? Now this guy is coming back for season 10 to direct it, supposedly.
All right. Okay.
So it's like, why did he want to leave in the first place? I don't know. Maybe he's just going to do a couple of episodes and.
I think what I need to do with Walking Dead, honestly, is sort of stay away from it for a season or two, and then just come back and binge it or something. I'm getting a little bit bored with it. I'm getting a little bit, not wanting to repeat myself, I'm getting a little bit bored of box sets in general.
Yeah.
The Haunting of Hill House has been quite refreshing, really, because I think it's been very, very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just prefer
the
to watch
whole zombie
movies.
thing is just being done. Like if you that Kindle Unlimited thing.
Oh yeah.
I was trying to use that to like read, everybody's stories. Some of them have like they put them out for free, and I catch those, but a lot of them they're on Kindle Unlimited. So I tried to catch. I put as many as I could. I think you could have 10 out at one time. And here's an interesting thing for you. I did it because it was 99 cents for 3 months.
Yeah.
But what they're asking for is way too much for. Because you don't get to get like really, you don't get to get the mainstream books. You get like the just if people have to put it out. Let's put it that way. J.K. Rowling for some reason put out all the Harry Potter books on it, but certain people put it, certain people don't. I guess premium, you could say, premium writers.
It's a bit of a rip-off, that, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, if you want to pay for a service where you read books, you want the books you want to read, don't you? Why would you do it otherwise?
Yeah, and then for the Prime that I have Prime, so I can borrow a book for free every month.
Yeah.
So, off the bat, anyway. If you consume like 4 or 5 books a week, and non-premium books, when I say that, I don't mean like non-Stephen King, non-Dean Koontz,
non-Gary Buller.
Yeah, then it's great. But so what I did was I canceled it just before it ended. Yeah. And there was a couple I didn't get to read yet. But then I realized on my Kindle Paperwhite, I disconnected it from the internet real fast.
Right.
So I still have from what I see on there, I'm still reading the one that I was reading. Plus, I believe all the other ones should still be on there because it can't refresh itself.
No.
So
no.
I just if you want to cancel it out with 10 books, and then just don't refresh your Kindle until you can finish off what you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and that's just because I'm I was pretty much so much you get the work, you get all these excuses, so they got in the way.
Yeah. I struggle to finish a couple of novels a month,
And it's got to be so. There has to be a better way for these rating systems because they're not really accurate. They're not accurate.
No, it's like Mechanisms of Despair. My book's got like 4.5 stars or something, and as much on Goodreads, based on about 13 or 14 reviews.
Yeah.
And as much as I really appreciate the people that have read it and stuff, and obviously I thank them for it. Is it a 4.5 star book? Compared to like, Pet Sematary or any other book that might get 4.5 or 5 stars. It's like how does it compare? And in that way, I don't think it's sort of accurate. If Leslie North are getting the same score as a big writer who's written a famous and very well sort of appreciated book.
Well, and then there's the people who may actually genuinely like yours better. And maybe on Amazon, your form of writing may be better than Stephen King or Dean Koontz, let's just say, right? But then you'll get the ones that they're like, oh, he's my buddy, I'm going to give him 5 stars.
Yeah.
Push it up, and then this way. I mean, the fact that you're putting it out for charity, obviously, that deserves something.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people do that, and it's a charity. That should be graded into the system. But if somebody likes it genuinely, that's one thing.
Yeah,
But
it got some really kind reviews. Particularly Grim Reader, who is retiring, man, isn't he?
yeah, I
He's
heard
got
about
ill
that.
health, and I don't know if he listens or not, but if he does, I raise my glass to you, man. I'm really sorry to see that you're going and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's a local guy as well. He grew up in the same sort of part of town I did and stuff. So,
Yeah.
best of luck to him. But he gave me a very good review. Eddie Generous gave me a very good review at Unnerving. I think Ginger Nuts of Horror read it and they gave me a good review as well. So quite big sort of independent sort of reviewers gave me genuine good reviews, and I really obviously appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he said that it was because of health reasons.
Yeah, he's had a few seizures lately, so obviously I don't know what the nature of that is, but yeah, it's, as you say, as close as a community is to a degree, and it is one of the best things I've sort of done getting into the social media side of
Yeah.
things with the
Yeah.
writing.
It definitely teaches you a lot. I can say that much.
Yeah. Oh, talking of sort of horror, as we sometimes do, we watched the Nun last night, Lisa and I.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It's okay, man. I can see it.
Nah.
I can see it being good if you've had a few beers and or drugs. And it's one of them, you'd watch it and you'd be like, yeah, it's quite scary and jumpy in parts. Nowhere near as scary and jumpy as I thought it was going to be.
Those stories really are only jump scares, if you
Yeah.
think about it.
Yeah. I mean, the trailer has the biggest jump on it. If you watch the trailer for it, that is the biggest jump scare in it. And you know it's coming because you've already obviously just seen it in the trailer. But
Yeah.
it's okay. It's okay, man.
Well,
I think a big talent sort of literary, speaking sort of like from a literary standpoint, is it's very easy to an extent to just tell like a linear story. Will and Gary went to a haunted house. Will and Gary got scared by the ghost. The ghost, turned out to be Gary's father.
Yeah.
The end. It's quite easy to do that, but what's quite difficult in literature is to sort of describe the indescribable, and as you say, sort of touch on internal monologue and link it to sort of events within the characters' lives and stuff. I mean, Stephen King does that quite a lot.
Yeah.
Not that I want to talk too much about Stephen King. I always do.
I mean,
but,
it's good. It's a good thing to go by. It's he's got.
It's like the Haunting on Hill House. A lot of that, it's down to perception and your take on something.
Yeah.
When you're watching it, it's quite clever. There might be ghosts, but then again, there might not be ghosts. It might be mental health issues, or the ghost could be a metaphor.
Yeah.
That's another thing about it that you might be able to sort of spot. And it's always open to interpretation.
And that's the thing. And then there's just that one part that everybody sees, like every character, and you're like, but it has to be real because they all saw it. But then you're saying, but wait a second, that could just be because sometimes that happens in life. In New York, the lotto after 9/11, the year after, or I think the year after, the 2 years after, 9/11 came out on the lotto balls, right? The lotto, the three lotto, 9/11 came out, and the thing is everybody's like, oh look, it could also be that the New York lotto is a scam, or it could just be that, hey, maybe it is, maybe that is what happened. But that's something that everybody sees, but then one person leading up to those things happening, it could be their mental. And so you don't know, like you said, you don't know if it's real, if it's fake. Sometimes you can make it real because the person seeing these things, they do things in real life that manifest what's in their mind. And then that monster does become real. Like look at Freddy Krueger, right? So you got these people who they're dreaming up this guy and giving him power, and as they go, like I mean, obviously he was a murderer of children and stuff, and when he died, he supposedly went into the realm of dreams, and he can attack you through your dreams, but they gave him his power. It's internal, man.
I mean, all these sort of movies that I've seen, these very well-known Oscar-nominated, critically acclaimed horror films that are out there, which happen to be very good. they're all slightly open to interpretation, sort of transcend a linear sort of format. It's like Get Out and what was that one that came out recently about the little girl? What's it called? Hereditary. These films, they're complicated films, man. Some of them, Hereditary, I watched it and I sort of got what was happening on it, but me and Lisa sort of looked at each other, because I've not been to Oxford University, I'm not the most intelligent guy in the world, you know what I mean? And so we sort of looked at each other at the end of it, and I was like, I'm not sure. I've got an idea what might have happened, but I'm not quite sure if it was. Yeah. And you go on the internet and you research what happened at the end of Hereditary, what happened here, what was going on in Get Out, and you find out there's metaphor in there, and it's representative of something in the real world, and the yada yada yada. But I still enjoyed those films.
Yeah.
And I think
the whole thing about Get Out was just like the rich people.
Yeah,
and they call them like the trend, and the trend was just for African American individuals because they wanted their athleticism and this and that, but it was just a trend like that. It wasn't that that's all they were going for. That was.
I can't remember exactly what the deeper meaning was, but it was something around that. I understood, on the face of it, you think it's a racial thing, but it's not. Yeah, stuff like that, man. It's the same in literature. You read it, and some of the best sort of novels I've read, and some of the best short stories I've read, it's open to interpretation in so many ways.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so good about it. It can speak to so many people, and so many people have so many different points of view about what's just happened, but they all enjoyed it.
Like Bad Place with me, that was by Dean Koontz.
Yeah.
That was a great book, man. Like, if you've never read Bad Place, I definitely recommend it. It's one of his better books.
Breaking news. Amy Grech has given Stephen King's new book, Elevation, 3 out of 5 stars.
Oh, jeez.
So
Amy.
I've heard mixed reviews about that, that book. I've got it on Audible. I've not listened to it yet. But some people say it is absolute. And other people say it's good. Yeah.
The thing is, he's putting these books out so fast. Like, usually they take every 6 months, unless it has been 6 months. I don't know. Has it been 6 months since his last one?
What was his last one? Was it The Outsider?
I think it was The Outsiders, yeah.
And then there was Fight or Fright. That only came out in September. It was his collection of short stories in which he had one as well. He's got so many stories out. It's like, Jesus. When are we going to get, Will? When are we going to get a Will Marchese short story collection? When are we going to get that? When's it coming out?
Maybe one day.
You should. Oh, man, you need to. You need to get a collection there,
Do you really get short story collections out before? I know you did it. But you did it for the charity, right?
Yeah.
But isn't it like something where you become a certain status?
No, I don't think so.
And then people are like, oh, let me read all his short stories. You're like, oh, well, here's a collection.
It makes sense. It makes sense to me. I've got about, I don't know, something like 25 or 30 stories that have been published at various places over the past three and a bit years.
Yeah.
Some of them have been published at Dead Man's Tome, which have been in the first collection, Mechanisms of Despair. But there are loads of stories out there that just scattered around the universe in various publications where the rights have now returned to me.
Yeah.
Why would I not sort of put them out in a collection so that if anyone did want to read just my stuff...
Well, here's the thing. How do you put them out? Do you self-publish them? Because let's say you have a novel, right? You go out, right? Let's say you get your breakthrough novel.
Yeah.
It did great. Now they want the second one. The second one's coming in 6 months, like I told you. Remember, they usually want the next one and the next one so they can keep putting them out. But then they say, hey, you had all these short stories that you never put out. That's another book deal right there.
Yeah.
So now if you put out your short stories under like self-publishing thing, how does that work? Like, what if they want to publish all your short stories and you could make another sort of, check on that?
I think I'd much rather any indie publisher to publish my collection rather than publish it myself. I'd rather hunt for someone to sort of do it for me and get it out there and
Oh
distribute
yeah, definitely, definitely.
And then you take all your short stories. I mean, the rights, you'll have the rights again, won't you, for, was it Tonight Forever or whatever it was called? The one that was in Hinder's Souls?
Hinder's,
You'll have the rights back for that. You'll have the rights back for Daddy as well. You'll have the rights back for...
I should have the rights back for all of them, pretty much.
Yeah, the number 7. You'll have the rights back for... Yeah, everything. Whack it all in a little short story collection, man, and see who's going to publish it, you know? And then when someone says, you know, oh, I'd love to read some of your stories, rather than saying, well, you got to buy this, 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 and this, just say, here you go. It's $8, and there you go. And on the front cover, you in a sort of turtleneck sweater, you know, sat by a fire, reading a big leather volume, you know?
Yeah. Maybe
go for that on the front cover. Yeah. But yeah, you should do it, man. You get it out there. I think if you know, obviously get more short stories out there. You know, you got to.
Actually, there's going to be some submissions pretty soon, and I was working on the novel too. So I want to try to get an agent and stuff. It's a little hard to get an agent around the holidays.
Yeah.
Just because everybody's out doing stuff with family and things like that. But it's yeah, I mean, maybe the beginning of next year will give me a little more time to make the novel. Oh, someone's asking, did I miss the pie talk? We may have to talk about the pie again. Only because it's and because it's trending and because it's almost time to go. I bought a pumpkin pie from Whole Foods.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to cut into that bad boy.
Hey, right, I want you to take a picture of you cutting into that pumpkin pie, and I want you to put it on Twitter. Right, anyway, I'm gonna go, dude.
Yeah. Subscribe, like, share. As they say, smash that like button. I hate that. No, I hate when I hear that. It just disgusts. Just subscribe, smash the button so me and Gary can get some beer money or something. I don't drink though.
Yeah. You should drink. If I ever come over to New York, if you don't get a beer down here, I'll be really disappointed.
Oh no, but I drink, but it's not often, But it's like,
Yeah.
Gary will get beer money. I'll get some stevia. Let us make some money on YouTube. Damn it.
A little bit of something.
A couple of cents, No, I'm just kidding. If you really like it, just subscribe. Make Gary happy.
Make me happy.
It really makes him happy.
All right, guys.
Hi, man.
I've got to. All right, see you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Ciao.
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 Francesco Ronaldo.